As Vice-Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. High Sheriff, Mayor of Oadby and Wigston, parents, friends and graduands, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 19,000 students and just over 3,000 staff with a turnover of £150 million per annum. It all demonstrates that universities are complex organisations. They are businesses with higher education at the core. We deal with a range of different activities, and I want to focus on three in particular. First, leading-edge research in a range of areas. This year, our Department of Genetics was one of 20 institutions to win the Queen's Anniversary Prize for Higher and Further Education. This is the second occasion that the university has won this award, having first gained it in 1994 when physics was a winner. The physics department itself has also had very exciting projects in the public eye this year. In particular, their work with the Open University on the Beagle 2 project, which is designed to discover whether there is life on Mars. There is one thing of which you can be sure. If there is life on Mars, we shall be the first to sign them up for a university degree. In medicine and biological sciences, we are very fortunate to have a very distinguished faculty. It is almost invidious to single people out, but for the purposes of today's degree ceremony, it is very appropriate to do so. Sir Alec Jeffreys, one of our professors of genetics, is by any standards a world-class researcher. He has had a huge number of honours placed upon him by a number of organisations, including this year the Leicester Mercury, for beating Gary Lineker as the third most important person in Leicestershire. He's very proud of that as an honour, but I'm afraid that this afternoon he is unable to join us, and so it will be another occasion when we have the opportunity to honour Alec by giving him an honorary degree. This year we also decided we would like to give an honorary degree to another member of our staff, Professor Sir Peter Bell. It is a great pleasure to be able to do this afternoon, and indeed it is Peter we honour as the last of the founding professors of the medical school who retires this year. Peter Bell has made major contributions to the University of Leicester. He has made major contributions to a huge number of professional organisations and learned societies, which he has led with great distinction. He has made a huge contribution to the university by establishing an absolutely splendid Department of Surgery, which is to the great benefit of not only this university, but to the people of Leicester and Leicestershire. I hope you would wish to join me in wishing him every good wish for his retirement. And the words Peter Bell and retirement don't sit easily with me, but I'm sure you go with our very good wishes, Peter, and I hope that you would wish to congratulate him this afternoon. It is having a very distinguished faculty that really makes research come alive. It's not only the faculty that make the research come alive, they also make a second important area, and second not in order, because the two topics are intimately intertwined. Research and teaching are linked together in a research-intensive university. And those who'd ever try to tell you different, I'm sure those of you who have spent your time in the University of Leicester will be able to demonstrate all too clearly why it is that to be taught by leading researchers is very important. They can communicate very effectively the work that they are doing within their subject field, pushing the boundaries ever further forward. But teaching is also of fundamental importance in any university, and we have begun to award teaching fellowships to staff across the institution. Indeed, it was a great pleasure on Monday of this week to present 4 awards, one of which went to a member of staff in the medical school. Currently, we also have a number of special projects involved in innovation in teaching. And Professor Stuart Peterson in medicine and Dr. Derek Rain in physics are involved in investigations on teaching methods and curricula that inform not only their own subject areas, but also subject areas within the curriculum more generally. We hope that this will, again, have an influence on the kind of work that is conducted within the university. Thirdly, it is my view that any significant university that wishes to aspire to excellence must make a contribution to its community and to the cultural well-being of the community. In Leicester, this is demonstrated very clearly by our work with schools, teachers, pupils and parents in the inner city with a view to broadening access. Broadening access is not just a political slogan in this university, it is a principle to which we firmly adhere. Our Richard Attenborough Centre for Disability in the Arts has attracted a wide range of audiences this year to exhibitions and innovative concerts featuring winners of the Young Musician of the Year competition. I certainly hope that we shall engage other young performers in the different areas of art and culture, because I think this is something that a university, above all art centres, can in fact develop. Our Botanic Garden currently features an international sculpture show which comprises this year 49 pieces by 35 artists drawn from 13 countries. The exhibition opened last Saturday and runs until mid-September. Sculptors have already told me that we have on display a world-class exhibition. I hope you will go and judge for yourselves and take the opportunity to visit it before you leave Leicester this week. These are just illustrations of the activities and the work of a university. The list could be endless and emphasises why it is so difficult to address questions about the shape and style of universities. Yet during this year, we have witnessed the start of a major national debate about the higher education system. Fundamental questions have been raised about research, learning, teaching and access, among many other topics. It is important that those of us who are engaged in universities and those of you who come into contact with higher education as parents, visitors and friends contribute actively to that debate. What kind of higher education system do you want? It is your system and you need to help shape it. I hope that you will want to argue that teaching and research are of fundamental importance. It is something that this country needs to hold on to in its higher education system. But here in Leicester, we need to consider what kind of university do we intend to be. Of one thing you can be sure, change is inevitable, but we need to build on activities where we are excellent. In Leicester, this will mean developing our contribution to the local and regional economy and to the quality of life in Leicester and Leicestershire. Generating further research grant and contract income to maintain our position among the leading universities in the UK. Delivering teaching that is closely linked to research and evaluated by peers as excellent. Widening access, widening participation, developing new foundation degrees. And it is a great pleasure to know that this coming September, we will be starting a foundation degree with Loughborough College in the field of health and illness, which means that someone can spend 2 years on that degree, take the graduate MBCHB route, and actually be graduating 6 years from now. I think that's a very exciting prospect for us to be able to develop in that way. We also need to develop further strategic alliances with higher and further education. We already have a network of 14 colleges of further education and sixth form colleges, and we are about to develop a special relationship with Bishop Grosseteste College in Lincoln and Newman College in Birmingham, whose courses we will validate from September. The students in those institutions will therefore qualify with degrees from this university. Finally, we need to think about ways in which we can continue to develop higher education through distance learning. At the present time, 6,000 students study with us by distance learning. So if parents and friends who are here today would like their own University of Leicester degree, I can assure you it will be no trouble to sign you up at the end of this ceremony. We can deliver the packages to you at home next week, and you too can be on your way to a degree ceremony in the De Montfort Hall. You would, in fact, be joining an institution that has been rated a top 20 higher education institution in the UK by both the Financial Times and the Sunday Times. And this has happened consistently over the last 3 years. We have, as a university, much to contribute locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. Finally, I would like to turn to those of you graduating today to congratulate you on the degrees you have obtained. The class of 2003 has raised the standard even higher. We hope you will keep in touch with the university, and I shall look forward to seeing you at alumni events. But before I close, I would like you to join me in showing your appreciation to your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2003 to join me in a round of applause for those people. That's very good, but of course, with you coming on Friday afternoon, I've had the opportunity to tell all the other faculties that they need to clap louder and longer than medicine and biological sciences, who, rumour has it, always clap louder and longer than anyone else. But, well, if you're going to applaud like that this afternoon, you're going to have your work cut out this year to actually carry off the day. So we shall have to come back to that later, but the main thing is to have an enjoyable day, applaud your fellow students, and all good wishes in your future careers.
Cancer. It's a word that strikes fear into the hearts of many here today. It's also an interesting word. It's the name of a constellation of the zodiac, Cancer the crab. It was one of the 3 clues that helped Richard Hannay defeat the machinations of his enemies in John Buchan's novel Greenmantle. Above all, it is the name of a painful and often fatal disease, hence the fear. Now, Richard Hannay's clue was literal. The figurehead of the opposition, Greenmantle himself, was terminally ill. His death was necessary for the working out of the plot. The constellation Cancer is the current star sign. If your birthday is today, you were born under the sign of the crab, according to the astrologers. Unfortunately, owing to the astronomical phenomenon of the precession of the equinoxes, the Sun is at present moving, as observed from the Earth, through the stars of Gemini. This does not appear to trouble the astrologers. The painful disease was so named because of the crab-like appearance of the tumours observed by early doctors. Now, Professor Sir Paul Nurse is one of the foremost biological scientists in the world and a leading research worker in the study of cancer. He was born in Norfolk in 1949, but raised and educated in London. He showed an interest in science from an early age. His first love was astronomy, which he still keeps up as a hobby, though he later concentrated on biology. The first of his family to go to university, he obtained a first-class honours BSc in biology from the University of Birmingham in 1970 and a PhD in cell biology from the University of East Anglia in 1973. He was a research fellow at the University of Edinburgh from 1973 to 1979. Now, during these years, he regularly visited the Department of Genetics at this university to discuss his ideas on the control of the cell cycle. At that time, the head of department was the founding professor, Professor Bob Pritchard, who was a leader in the study of cell cycle control in bacteria. Paul Nurse maintained his links with Leicester geneticists over the next 30 years, as yeast-based research was established in the Department of Genetics and the Leicester Biocentre. He first worked for the Imperial Cancer Research Fund as head of its cell cycle control laboratory between 1984 and 1987. He then went to Oxford as Ivy Professor of Microbiology before returning to the ICRF in 1993 as Director of Laboratory Research. His own work on yeast yet led to the discovery of a gene that controls the process of cell division. He also succeeded in proving the existence of a counterpart gene in humans and indeed in all eukaryotic organisms, so demonstrating the universal nature of the cell division process. For this work, he was elected Fellow of the Royal Society in 1989 and in 2001 shared the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine. The significance of his work for cancer research is that it has provided insight into how cells divide normally and so helped our understanding of the uncontrolled growth that characterizes cancer cells. Paul Nurse became Director General of the Imperial Cancer Research Fund in 1996. As such, he oversaw a substantial growth in the research work of that charity. He also greatly assisted its merger with the Cancer Research Campaign and became interim chief executive of the new body, Cancer Research UK, on its formation in 2001. He will become president of Rockefeller University in New York in November of this year. In 1999, he received a knighthood for services to cancer research. He is also very active in the promotion and dissemination of scientific knowledge to the public through the Royal Society and other bodies. He is an independent member of the Council for Science and Technology, a top-level advisory body to the government. Sir Paul's first love has always been science. He remains an active laboratory scientist who continued to lead his research group at the ICRF throughout his time as Director General. His interests are, however, much wider than pure genetics or genetics applied to medicine. In September 2002, he formally launched the University of Leicester Institute of Genetics. This is a virtual institute where people from different disciplines and different departments can come together to discuss issues in genetics at the widest sense. It will encompass ethics, philosophy, and legal issues, as well as mainstream genetic research. To quote Professor Nurse, "This is really fascinating. The use of modern genetics in problems to do with history and anthropology, how populations have moved, how agriculture has developed. It's an extra tool for the archaeologists, anthropologists, and sociologists, and I hope they embrace it." Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present Paul Maxime Nurse, that you may confer on him the Honorary Degree of Doctor of Science.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a pleasure and an honour to receive this honorary degree and to speak to you this afternoon. I hold this university in great affection and I much admire what it has done. Indeed, it failed to give me a job when I applied for one in the late 70s. But then it had very high standards, of course. Being a guest speaker at a graduation ceremony has problems because one is expected to say profound and important things, given it's such an auspicious occasion. But I'm reminded of what the American Robert Orban said about graduation ceremonies. As an event where the guest speaker tells hundreds of students dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. But in fact, the first thing and most important thing I want to say today is not to do with advice, but it is in fact the most enjoyable thing I have to say, and that is to congratulate everybody here today. First, the students, my fellow graduates. You should all be very pleased with yourselves. You've made it, you got through those years, you've suffered quite a lot on the way, sometimes from things outside your control, like examinations and tutorials, sometimes things in your control, like late-night drinking and things like that. But you got here, you got your degree, you survived your clubbing, you should be very pleased with yourselves. And look around at each other. This may be one of the last times that you will be together. You should be sentimental with each other because soon you will be moving on. And I'd also like to echo the Vice-Chancellor in thanking all those who have helped you get here, families, friends and partners. You've done great things to get these young people here, and I thank you on their behalf as well. So, I'm going to give two pieces of advice because that's what you're supposed to do. However, always remember Oscar Wilde's view on advice. The only thing to do with good advice is pass it on. It's never any use to oneself. Despite this, I want to say two things. The world is an extraordinary and wonderful place. It's very important to remain curious and enthusiastic about this life and this world. If you do so, it will continue to enchant you all your life. Trevelyan said, "Disinterested curiosity is the lifeblood of civilization." So I would ask you to remain curious and to remain enthusiastic. And the second piece of advice, that's simple. Keep a sense of humor. If you're running around being too curious and too enthusiastic about everything, just ask yourself if you're taking yourselves just a bit too seriously. So keep a sense of humor. It's perhaps the best quality that you can have. I'd like to end with just saying something to the officers of the university, because they tend to get left out, actually, in ceremonies like this, because they've done their bit too. And I'd like to thank them for all they've done in educating the students here today to getting them to these degrees. Because you know, higher education's becoming exceedingly complex. In these times of budget limits, business plans, RAEs, fundraising and so on, it's very easy to forget one of the major reasons for having higher education. And that is, of course, to teach students to think, to respect innovation, and to have freedom of thought. The president of Chicago University summed this up when he said, Robert Hutchins, "Education is not to reform students or to amuse them or to make them expert technicians. It is to unsettle their minds, to widen their horizons, to inflame their intellects, to teach them to think. Students need to be taught to think differently, and if they leave here without the passion to challenge and to disagree, to find that truth, then we have failed. And I would commend those thoughts to the university officers and staff. Thank you very much once again for this great honour. It's a huge pleasure for me to receive it. Congratulations again to you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
The graduands in the Faculty of Medicine and Biological Sciences will be presented by the Dean, Professor Brammer. Will all graduands in the faculty please stand?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit these candidates from the Faculty of Medicine and Biological Sciences to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Graduands of the Faculty of Medicine and Biological Sciences, by the authority of the Senate, I admit you to the several degrees for which you are presented.
For the degree of Doctor of Medicine, Chokalingam Arun.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Matthew Bown.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Paul Butterworth.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Anne Heffernan.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Matthew Oldfield.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Swat Chang Pei.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Charlotte Roos.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
Richard Saunders.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, James Anglin.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Trevor Epp.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Stephen Etheridge.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Sudip Ghosh.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Stephen Goodall.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Harpreet Singh Katkar.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Varsha Kodiar.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Penny McPolland.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Colin Moran.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Joe Park.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Rosemary Simpson.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Congratulations.
Winston Tambiraja.
And history degree of Doctor in Philosophy. Congratulations.
Carles Villarino Guel.
And history degree of Doctor in Philosophy. Congratulations.
For the degree of Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Vicky Edwards.
And history degree of Doctor of Clinical Psychology. Congratulations.
Roman Rachka.
And history degree of Doctor of Clinical Psychology. Congratulations.
Howard Smith.
And history degree of Doctor of Clinical Psychology. Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Philosophy, Emma Angel.
Congratulations.
Atsuko Oishi.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Social Work, Stephen Breen.
Congratulations.
Rachel Bryant.
Congratulations.
Carol Davies.
Congratulations.
Helen Farquharson.
Congratulations.
Paul Humphreys.
Congratulations.
Amy Kendall.
Congratulations.
Jamie Layton.
Congratulations.
Stacey McLean.
Congratulations.
Daniel Moonman.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Joyita Mukherjee.
Congratulations.
Bernadette Old.
Congratulations. Well done.
Julie Ovington.
Congratulations.
Sandra Pierce.
Congratulations.
Julie Siddons.
Congratulations.
Jill Steedman.
Congratulations.
Fiona Staunton.
Congratulations.
Alison Street.
Congratulations.
Rachel Elizabeth Sutton.
Congratulations.
Zoe Thomas.
Congratulations.
James Thornton.
Congratulations.
Sandeep Virk.
Congratulations.
Emily Wright.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Forensic Psychology, Helen Bates.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Gemma Clark.
Congratulations.
Sally Dixon.
Congratulations.
Kerry Gibson.
Congratulations.
Julia Hatton.
Congratulations.
Sarabjit Kaur.
Congratulations.
Mark Kozlovsky.
Congratulations.
Kajal Madlani.
Congratulations.
Heidi Watson.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hannah Willis.
Congratulations.
Beverly Marie Wilson.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Chris Wolfe.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Forensic and Legal Psychology, Jess Chan.
Congratulations.
Janice Formosa Pace.
Congratulations.
Alvinia Menery.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Christopher Price.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Medical Statistics, Ravinder Bahia.
Congratulations.
Chintu Desai.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Psychology, Carol Cockerton.
Congratulations.
Des McAneny.
Congratulations.
Jenny Saunders.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Pain Management, Teresa Box.
Congratulations.
Francis Giles.
Congratulations.
Angela Hoyle.
Congratulations.
Catherine Lompriere.
Congratulations.
Linda Loder.
Congratulations.
Kwan Ui.
Congratulations.
Deborah Poole.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences, Helen Albert.
Congratulations.
Timothy Avis.
Congratulations.
Haley Barber.
Congratulations.
Deborah Bodowicz.
Congratulations.
Craig Barnes.
Congratulations.
Gareth Bennett.
Congratulations.
David Carroll.
Congratulations.
Elizabeth Coleman.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thomas Cull.
Congratulations.
Stephen D'Souza.
Congratulations.
Tracy Drew.
Congratulations.
Simon Dyer.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Nicholas Edwards.
Congratulations.
Sandrine Enanchong.
Congratulations.
Amy Everall.
Congratulations.
Sitwei Fong.
Congratulations.
Christopher Gomersall.
Congratulations.
Hannah Greenhow.
Congratulations.
Andrew Harby.
Congratulations.
Christopher Howe.
Congratulations.
Amina Isat.
Congratulations.
Anwen James.
Congratulations.
Robert Jones.
Congratulations.
Zia Khan.
Congratulations.
Nisha Kolia.
Congratulations.
Melvin Kin.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Daniel Laycock.
Congratulations.
Paul MacDonald.
Congratulations.
Sammy Mason.
Congratulations.
David Masters.
Congratulations.
Sadia Matin.
Congratulations.
Eleanor May.
Congratulations.
Neil Mercer.
Congratulations.
Krupesh Mistry,
Congratulations.
Claire Oldham,
Congratulations.
John O'Neill,
Congratulations.
Danielle Owens,
Congratulations.
Sabrina Panassar,
Congratulations.
Elena Papayakovu,
Congratulations.
winner of the Margaret Wallace Henry Prize and the Aventis Prize, Alexis Parry,
Congratulations and very well done on gaining your prizes. Well done.
Meenal Patel,
Congratulations.
Laura Patey,
Congratulations.
Anushka Paul,
Congratulations.
Thashan Pillay,
Congratulations.
Giles Pipe,
Congratulations.
Helen Pollard,
Congratulations.
Manjinder Purwal,
Congratulations.
Sophia Riley,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Julie Rowbottom,
Congratulations.
Jonathan Rowell,
Congratulations.
Sarah Sandrini,
Congratulations.
Davinda Sanger,
Congratulations.
Gary Smart,
Congratulations.
Madeleine Smith,
Congratulations.
Natalie Stokely,
Congratulations.
Molly Thacker,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Sarah Thurkel,
Congratulations.
Carly Turnbull,
Congratulations. Well done.
Thomas Waters,
Congratulations.
John Williams,
Congratulations.
Megan Williams,
Congratulations.
Christiane Woolley,
Congratulations.
Gareth Yassin,
Congratulations.
for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences, European Union, Suzanne Cockerill.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences, Sandwich, Sanduran Balasubramaniam.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Margaret Wallace Henry Prize and the May Fund Prize for Biochemistry, Claire Cox.
Congratulations and well done on your prizes.
Winner of the AstraZeneca Prize in Genetics, Emma Denham.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Winner of the Physiological Prize, Manoj Saini.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Jessica Tan.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Human and Environmental Sciences, Andrea Clarkson.
Congratulations.
Roy Dartnell.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Gordon Heyman.
Congratulations.
Helen Jackson.
Congratulations.
Karin Lau.
Congratulations.
Julian Ordhume.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medical Biochemistry, Bindu Agarwal.
Congratulations. Well done.
George Avramides.
Congratulations.
Helen Chilton.
Congratulations.
Laura Clark.
Congratulations.
Edmund Compton.
Congratulations.
Sarah Cummings.
Congratulations.
Dylan Dabare.
Congratulations.
Serena Fernandez.
Congratulations.
Amy Firth.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Amersham Prize and the Faculty Prize, Juliet Gray.
Congratulations and well done on your prizes.
Amelia Hargrove.
Congratulations.
Kerry Horgan.
Congratulations.
Sheila Imtiaz.
Congratulations.
Sean Kelly.
Congratulations.
Shiraz Makda.
Congratulations.
Shashika Nanayakara.
Congratulations.
Loladi Alabai.
Congratulations.
Susanna O'Leary.
Congratulations.
Claire Paynes.
Congratulations.
Lorna Pantling.
Congratulations.
Bhakti Patel.
Congratulations.
Lisa Price.
Congratulations.
Indira Sabanathan.
Congratulations.
Catherine Tucson.
Congratulations.
Sean Williams.
Congratulations.
Rebecca Wright.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medical Biochemistry, Sandwich, Joanne Geary.
Congratulations.
Kathleen Wright.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medical Genetics, Anabini Anna.
Congratulations.
Russell Benamore.
Congratulations.
Andrew Bright.
Congratulations.
Rachel Carr.
Congratulations.
Eleanor Chalice.
Congratulations.
Jennifer Higgins.
Congratulations.
Catherine Ibata.
Congratulations.
Diva Jane.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Keith Lamb.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Helen Langsford.
Congratulations.
Daniel Maggs.
Congratulations.
Karen Pansell.
Congratulations.
Sukhvan Sandhu.
Congratulations.
Catherine Stewart.
Congratulations.
Jane Walker.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Lindsay Adams.
Congratulations.
Vicky Badley.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Victoria Baldwin.
Congratulations.
Tracy Bassett.
Congratulations.
Rebecca Baugh.
Congratulations.
Gail Bean.
Congratulations.
Carly Beasley.
Congratulations.
Anna Brown.
Congratulations.
Madeline Brown.
Congratulations.
Martin Capewell.
Congratulations.
Carly Chance.
Congratulations. Thank you.
James Christmas.
Congratulations.
James Cullop.
Congratulations.
Laura Datta.
Congratulations.
Andrew Davis.
Congratulations.
Gemma Deakin.
Congratulations.
Sarah Dean.
Congratulations.
Helen Falconer.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Slukin Prize, Bridie Gallagher.
Congratulations. And well done on your prize.
Katie Gill.
Congratulations.
James Gillam.
Congratulations.
Jean Gregson.
Congratulations.
Laura Griffiths.
Congratulations.
Helen Guntrip.
Congratulations.
Colette Hagan.
Congratulations.
Stephen Hall.
Congratulations.
Laura Hartshorn.
Congratulations.
Sarah Hine.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Victoria Hotchkiss.
Congratulations.
Alex Hudson.
Congratulations.
Helen Johnson.
Congratulations.
Judith Joseph.
Congratulations.
Adam Lonsdale.
Congratulations.
Ruth Lusted.
Congratulations.
Isla McIntosh.
Congratulations.
Harjinder Mahay.
Congratulations.
Laura Mulcock.
Congratulations.
Hazel Nimmo.
Congratulations.
Laura Ogden.
Congratulations.
Stephen Osea.
Congratulations.
Mary Patney.
Congratulations.
Ruth Pedwell.
Congratulations.
Sophie Perry.
Congratulations.
Rebecca Philpott.
Congratulations.
Victoria Plowright.
Congratulations.
Rachel Popham.
Congratulations.
Gemma Robertshaw.
Congratulations.
Naomi Rowson.
Congratulations.
Amandeep Sarana.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Tanya Shaw.
Congratulations.
Sally Sky.
Congratulations.
Becky Spellman.
Congratulations.
Natalie Stack.
Congratulations.
Katie Stewart.
Congratulations.
David Taylor.
Congratulations.
Jolene Taylor.
Congratulations.
Catherine Walker.
Congratulations.
Simon Wolney.
Congratulations.
Katrina Watson.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thomas Wife.
Congratulations.
Julie Wolstenholme.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Cara Wood.
Congratulations.
Nicola Wood.
Congratulations.
Lucy Yeaman.
Congratulations.
Amana Yousafzai.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Neuroscience, Carolyn Banton.
Congratulations.
Ruth Edwards.
Congratulations.
Anlyn Giaro.
Congratulations.
Alice Gibson.
Congratulations.
Natalie Lee Fook.
Congratulations.
Hannah Osman.
Congratulations.
Luke Pollock.
Congratulations.
Amardeep Sandhu.
Congratulations.
Kelly Whitehouse.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Sociology, Kay Briley.
Congratulations. Well done.
Kimberly Council.
Congratulations.
Emma Harrison.
Congratulations.
Safia Jusab.
Congratulations.
Pardeep Cairo.
Congratulations.
Rashmi Kalra.
Congratulations.
Catherine Matianu.
Congratulations.
Chrissy Pantelli.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Forensic Psychology, Helen Dupay.
Congratulations. Well done.
Professor Sir Peter Bell combines legendary skill as a surgeon with exceptional talent as an educator, researcher, and medical statesman. He's made an outstanding contribution to the discipline of surgery, the medical school at Leicester, and the medical profession as a whole. Peter spent his early life in India, where his father served in the armed forces. He attended a rough and ready army school until the age of 10, when his family returned to the UK. Thrown into the new environment of the local primary school in Sheffield, he experienced an early culture clash when he was sent home for distributing his normal daily snack of dried chilies to his unsuspecting classmates. Catching up in time for the notorious 11+ exam was too much of a challenge, however, and he entered the local secondary modern school. Here he had the advantage of an education that taught him woodwork and how to cook, but also, fortunately, allowed his real academic prowess to be demonstrated with a good clutch of O-levels. Dissuaded by his mother from leaving school with his friends at 16, he transferred to the local grammar school for A-levels and decided upon medicine as a career. Exceptional achievement generated a good range of options, but Peter remained loyal to his home and friends and chose the medical school at Sheffield. He lived at home throughout the course, making and maintaining friendships that keep roots in his hometown to this very day. With no family background in medicine, Peter was naive of the ways of the medical world, but his ability and potential were obvious to all. Following a distinction in surgery, he landed the plum first job with the professor of surgery, Andrew Kay, who became his role model. Far from the bombastic and arrogant stereotype of a surgeon, Professor Kay was a communicative man, kind to patients, confident but modest, and above all, honest. He embodied all that Peter aspired to be. Soon his mentor moved to Glasgow, and an offer came for Peter to follow. As a junior lecturer in surgery, he led innovations, including new transplantation and vascular services, which would today require an army of administrators to achieve. Whilst away in the USA on a fellowship, he was appointed in absentia to a senior lectureship at the extraordinarily young age of 29. This when elevation to consultant before the age of 40 was uncommon. A rising star, indeed. At that time, in the early 1970s, 3 new medical schools were being established. Andrew Kay had advised the new school at Leicester, and it was not long before Peter Bell's name was put forward for the Foundation Chair of Surgery. Appointed at the age of 34, Peter arrived at a new school with no dedicated buildings, few staff, and big expectations. Here he formed an immediate bond with the late John Swales, Professor of Medicine, establishing a lively chalk and cheese partnership which was the essential foundation of a school that has gone on to be the best in the land. The arrival of hotshot academics proved more than a little challenging to the local medics, comfortably ensconced away from the heat of progress. Initial skepticism and hostility were rapidly overcome, however, when Peter used his exceptional surgical skill to save an injured patient thought by them well beyond the help of the medical profession. Not many years passed before the headhunters descended again, and Peter was offered one of the jobs in surgery in the UK, the Regius Chair at Glasgow. It is a measure of his integrity that he turned down a royal appointment never previously refused, because agreements he made in good faith could not be confirmed. Leicester retained his services to our enormous benefit. At the peak of his career, Peter was involved in a serious road accident that left him with multiple life-threatening injuries. In the course of a long and painful recovery, he characteristically reflected on his experiences as a patient in ways that have improved the lot of his own patients since he returned to practice. Peter Bell has an exceptional national and international reputation. He founded and became president of the European Society of Vascular Surgery and edited its journal for many years. He has played a major role in the Royal College of Surgeons of England, rising to the post of vice president. His achievements have been recognised in many ways, culminating in the award of a knighthood. Sir Peter has consistently met the multiple challenges of a clinical academic, combining superb clinical skills with high-quality research, teaching, and clinical leadership. It is fortunate that he needs little sleep, as he has sustained for decades a workload that would bring most people to their knees in weeks. His clinical leadership has enabled local services to progress from the backwards to international prominence. His academic leadership shaped the form of the new medical school, and his research leadership has taken the discipline of surgery to new heights. Sir Peter is above all a man of honour, compassionate and caring, but true to his principles, and not afraid to tell the truth as he sees it to anyone, however eminent. There are hundreds of doctors practicing today who are the better for his influence, and thousands of patients who owe their lives to his skills. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and the Council, I present to you Peter Robert Frank Bell, that you may confer upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Science.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science and welcome you among us. Many congratulations. Thank you.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, High Sheriff, Mayor of Oadby and Wigston, colleagues, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, it's always very difficult to play on the home ground, isn't it, really? I, first of all, would like to thank the University for the considerable honour they have bestowed on me, and I'm really grateful for that. I have been here a long time. In fact, as the Vice-Chancellor said, I am the last of the Foundation professors. It's a bit like the last of the Mohicans, isn't it, really? I'm an endangered species. But I have been through, or at least I'm on my fourth Vice-Chancellor, my fourth Dean. So I've outlasted most of them, I guess, one could say. Now, we started here many years ago in Leicester with a new medical school. It was really, when we came here, there wasn't very much here, I can tell you. And I had a number of fantastic colleagues who worked extremely hard to bring Leicester to where it now is. It's now, as you know, and those who read the Guardian newspaper, you needn't show hands, but those who do, will remember that it actually is top of the league of universities, and we'll leave it at that. That means it's at least medical schools. So it's done extremely well, and many of my colleagues have put a lot of hard work into that. Over the years, we've produced many fantastic doctors, and some of them, in fact, are on the podium here as professors, so we did something right, didn't we? And others are in the audience at various levels in medicine. Now, being a surgeon, you all think that makes you arrogant, and so it makes you very humble, actually, because if you do anything wrong, it becomes very clear very quickly. And I would put it to you, the medical graduates here, that you should all become surgeons. It's very good for you. And you will become reasonable people overnight. So think about that. And I want to just give you no advice, because my colleague Paul Nurse has given you lots of advice. What I want to tell you is that I'm here today getting my degree. Unlike you, I didn't do an exam for it, you're pleased to know. But I have to tell you that I have to confess now, because it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be retiring in September, that this isn't the first time. During my finals in Sheffield many years ago, in the medical finals, that's the bit with the medical, the long case in medicine, you remember that? There used to be long cases in medicine in those days. And you were given a patient to look at, examine, talk to, and then the examiners would quiz you on that case. Well, I went down to my exam, and in those days the patients used to be taken down to the gymnasium and put behind screens, and the examiners sat at tables and asked questions. Well, I'm being Bell, I was always first, so I went down there to my examinations, and I was told to go to number 3, boy, sort of thing. I went in there, and there was Mr. Smith. And I said, Mr. Smith, what is your problem? And he wouldn't reply. And I said, Mr. Smith, be reasonable, you know. I've got this exam to take, and if you don't answer my questions, I'm going to be in trouble. No reply. I said, for God's sake, Mr. Smith, put my arms around his shoulders. and he slumped forward. And I said, Mr. Smith, for goodness sake, it's not a time to play act. I've got an exam, I've got 15 minutes left. No reply. But this time, I realized that Mr. Smith was unfortunately dead. This poor chap had been there since 7:30, had a heart attack or something, very sad. So I thought, my goodness me. So I went out to the examiners who were talking wise words to one another and said, excuse me, sir, get back in there, boy, you've got 10 minutes yet. I said, but sir, excuse me, get back in there. Sir, he's dead. Don't be ridiculous, boy. In they come to the cubicle. All hell breaks loose, of course. I've got back to the wall. All hell breaks loose. And they come along, cardiac massage, all that sort of thing. And then when it's all died down, they go away. I said, excuse me, sir, I'm still here. What shall I do? He says, bugger off, you've passed. So I just tell that story to tell you, that's why I'm a surgeon, really. I can take anything, really. So congratulations once again to all of you. Remember, all of you become surgeons. And remember that your worst enemy is ignorance and apathy. As one student, when asked what he thought about ignorance and apathy, he said he didn't know and didn't care. So don't be like that. Remember, your patients are the most important thing. And the best of luck to all of you. And thank you.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I now invite the Dean of the Leicester Warwick Medical Schools, Professor Lauder, to introduce graduates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science intercalated and Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, for the intercalated degree of Bachelor of Science, Ali Abbas. Khalida Ayash. Rima Ayash. Aletta Carboni. Sandeep Girinava, Pallavi Kamal, Aman Khana, Subramanya Kumar, Sunit Kumar, Ronak Patel, Melanie Poole, Mewesh Kreshi, Amit Shah. For the degrees of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, the winner of the elective second prize, Amira Abdel Rahim. Hazrini Abdullah, Tariq Ahmad, Andrew Ayo, Lauren Ayo, Mohammed Akhtar, Jessica Aldcroft,
done, Jessica. Many congratulations.
Katinka Ancherson,
Very many congratulations.
Zili Anwar,
Many congratulations.
Timothy Archampong,
Well done, Thomas. Many congratulations.
the winner of the Sir Robert Kilpatrick Prize, Karen Austin Smith,
Well done, Karen, and many congratulations on the prize.
Matthew Ballady,
Well done, Matthew.
Anupan Banerjee,
Many congratulations. We've got all sorts of fans out there.
the winner of the John McVicar Prize and Medal, the Medical Women's Federation East Midlands Prize, and the Arthur Watts Prize in Clinical Medicine, Helen Barnes.
Well done. Many congratulations. I think we should turn round and take a bow.
Kaljit Buller,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Filomeno Bianco,
Many congratulations.
Anton Boyajev,
Well done, Anton. Many congratulations.
Anjali Brambat,
Many congratulations.
Rebecca Brooks,
Many congratulations.
Patrick Bush,
Many congratulations.
John Byrne,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Alistair Kane,
Alistair, well done. Many congratulations.
Anisa Caratella,
Many congratulations.
Richard Cocker,
Richard, many congratulations. Well done.
Philippa Coldrick,
Philippa, well done. Many congratulations.
the winner of the James Overton Dermatology Prize, Emma Cordingley.
Well done, and many congratulations on the prize.
The winner of the elective first prize and the Arthritis and Rheumatism Prize, Jessica Cross.
Well done, Jessica, and many congratulations on the prizes. Well done.
Rachel Curley,
Congratulations, Rachel. Well done.
Roya Dabistani,
Very congratulations. You obviously have some fans out there too.
Khaled Dajani,
Well done, many congratulations.
Jasjeet Dillon,
Many congratulations.
Alexander Domansky,
Alexander, many congratulations.
Laura Donahoe,
Lord, many congratulations.
Martin Doran,
Martin, congratulations. Well done.
Susan Duckworth,
Susan, many congratulations. Well, we have a few fans out there.
Charlotte Dunlop,
Well done, Sarah. Many congratulations.
Robert Ellis,
Congratulations, Robert. Well done.
Alexandra Evans,
Alexander, many congratulations.
Margaret Field,
Well done, Margaret. Many congratulations.
Tajinera Frageni,
Many congratulations.
John Frierson,
Well done, John. Many congratulations.
Heather Galley,
Many congratulations.
Ruth Gibson,
Many congratulations.
Angela Goldby,
Angela, many congratulations.
Richard Gooding,
Richard, well done. Many congratulations. We obviously have a few fans out there.
Rebecca Greenwood,
Rebecca, many congratulations.
Jennifer Hain,
Jennifer, well done. Many congratulations.
Gowri Halur,
Many congratulations.
Sarah Hawkswell,
Many congratulations.
Sarah Healy,
Many congratulations.
Pauline Higgins,
Pauline, well done. Many congratulations.
Rebecca Heighton,
Rebecca, many congratulations.
Christopher Hill,
Christopher, many congratulations.
Charlotte Holbrook,
Charlotte, many congratulations.
Patricia Hooper,
Well done, Patricia, many congratulations.
Rebecca Hopkins,
Many congratulations.
The winner of the Smith, Klein and French Prize, Rachel Hughes.
Well done, Rachel. Many congratulations and special congratulations on the prize.
Nicola Hyde.
Nicola, many congratulations. Well done.
The winner of 2 arthritis and rheumatism prizes, Andrew Eyston.
Well done, Andrew. Many congratulations. Special congratulations on the prizes. Well done.
Isam Ismail.
Very many congratulations. Well done.
Nilesh Jagjivan.
Many congratulations.
Minesh Jubanputra.
Many congratulations.
Randeep Johal.
Many congratulations.
Christopher Johnson.
Christopher, many congratulations.
Anita Joshi.
Anita, many congratulations.
Helen Kay.
Helen, many congratulations.
Ellen Kivash.
Helen, many congratulations. Well, we have a few fans out there.
Julia Kestelman.
Julia, many congratulations.
The winner of the elective 3rd prize and the Ballantyne Prize, Shaista Khan.
Shaista, many congratulations. Well done with the prizes. Wonderful.
Vineet Kunga.
Many congratulations.
Tamar King.
Many congratulations.
Jill Knowles.
Well done, Jill. Many congratulations.
Catherine Kober.
Catherine, congratulations. Well done.
Mai Young Lak.
Many congratulations.
Gary Law.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Tim Leach.
Many congratulations.
Railton Leonard.
Many congratulations.
Stephen Leung.
Well done, Stephen. Many congratulations.
Jonathan Lolgi.
Congratulations, Jonathan. Well done.
Susanna Luckins.
Well done. Many congratulations.
Simon Mayers.
Simon, congratulations.
Joanna Makepeace.
Joanna, many congratulations.
Stephen Mong.
Congratulations, Stephen. Well done.
Thomas McCarthy.
Thomas, congratulations.
The winner of the Roche Syntex Prize, Alistair McGran.
Well done, Alistair. Many congratulations on the prize. Well done.
The winner of the Charles Lawson Prize, Graham McKinnon.
Congratulations, Graham. Many congratulations on the prize too.
Viren Mistry.
Graham, many congratulations.
Ellen Mosley.
And many congratulations.
Anna Munasinger.
Many congratulations. We obviously have a few fans out there.
Asri Nash.
Asri, many congratulations.
Azim Nawaz.
Azim, many congratulations.
The winner of the Faculty of Medicine Gold Medal, Tamsin Newlove.
Well done, Tamsin. Many congratulations on the prize. Well done.
Emily O'Leary.
Many congratulations.
Siok Ling Ong.
Many congratulations.
Fatima Osmani.
Fatima, very many congratulations.
Andrew Packham.
Andrew, many congratulations.
The other joint winner of the Faculty of Medicine Gold Medal and the Arthur Watts Prize in Clinical Methods, Rakesh Panchal.
Rakesh, very many congratulations, especially on the prize. Obviously, we also have a few fans out there. Well done.
Karnesh Patel.
Many congratulations.
Shauna Patel.
Well, many congratulations.
Rebecca Payne.
Rebecca, many congratulations.
Jonathan Phillips.
Well done, Jonathan.
Esme Porter.
Many congratulations.
Devana Prashara.
Devana, many congratulations.
Claire Pridden.
Well done, many congratulations.
Jaskin Rai,
Many congratulations.
Verinda Rai,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Nazir Rashid,
Many congratulations.
David Regan,
Many congratulations.
Claire Reynolds,
Claire, congratulations.
Sarah Roberts,
Sarah, many congratulations.
Leah Robinson,
Yeah, very well done. Many congratulations.
Daniel Rogers,
Many congratulations.
David Roscoe,
David, many congratulations.
Benjamin Ross,
Benjamin, many congratulations. Well done.
Catherine Rowlands,
Catherine, many congratulations. Okay. Good, great.
the winner of the Sydney Brandon Prize, Paul Schofield.
Paul, many congratulations. Well done on the prize. Really good.
Rahul Shah,
Hello, many congratulations.
Shantha Shanmugalingam,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Saru Sharma,
Very many congratulations.
Roy Sill,
Many congratulations. Well done.
Felicity Sim.
Obviously, many congratulations.
The winner of the Pfizer Prize, Andrea Smith.
Well done, Andrea. Many congratulations, especially on the prize. Well done.
Paul Spedding,
Many congratulations, Paul. Well done.
Helen Spring,
Congratulations. Well done.
Victoria St. Noble,
Sorry, many congratulations.
Helen Steddiford,
Many congratulations.
Rachel Talent,
Very many congratulations. Well done.
Yi Si Tang,
Thank you. Many congratulations.
Elliot Tash,
Many congratulations.
Sarah Thomaset,
Well done, Sarah. Many congratulations.
Matthew Titterton,
Thank you. Many congratulations.
Dimple Varma,
Many congratulations.
AJ Verma,
Many congratulations. Well done.
the winner of the BMA Prize, the Faculty Prize, and the Tressida Prize, Sarah Vince.
So, very many congratulations, especially on the prizes. I think you should turn around and take a bow. Please do. Well done.
Bethan Walsh,
Well done. Many congratulations.
Nikki Walters,
Ricky, congratulations.
Stuart Webber,
Stuart, many congratulations.
Kirsty Westick,
Kirsty, many congratulations.
Michael Wiebel,
Michael, many congratulations.
Stephen Wheeler,
Stephen, many congratulations.
Ruth Whitehouse,
Many congratulations.
Stuart Wilkinson,
Many congratulations, Stuart. Well done.
James Williamson,
Well done, James. Many congratulations.
Fiona Wilson,
Many congratulations.
Rachel Wilson,
Many congratulations.
Georgina Wright,
Georgina, many congratulations. Well done.
Philippa Xeri,
Philippa, many congratulations. Well done.
Leslie Younger.
Leslie, well done. Many congratulations. You always remember doing the last on the day. Well done.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to admit to the several degrees for which they are presented by my faculty those candidates who are absent.
By the authority of Senate, I admit those candidates who are absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Mr. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I now invite a representative of those whom you have admitted today to the degrees of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery to come forward to the platform in order that he may lead them in the affirmation of the Declaration of Geneva.
Will graduates in the degrees of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery please stand?
Please declare with me, at the time of being admitted as a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge myself to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the secrets which are confided in me, even after the patient has died. I will maintain, by all means in my power, the honour and the noble traditions of the medical profession. My colleagues are my brothers and sisters. I will not permit consideration of religion, nationality, race, politics, or social standing to intervene between my duty and patients. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life from its beginning, even under threat, and I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honour.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, High Sheriff, Mayor of Oadby and Wigston, colleagues, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin these closing comments by adding my congratulations and those of the staff of the university to all of you who've received degrees this afternoon. In the case of our distinguished honorary graduates, one of the good things about a university is that it can recognise in this way the achievements of those who have contributed to society, whether it be in business, the community, or academia. It is worth reflecting that the knowledge of our two honorary graduates this afternoon gives them weight, but it is their achievements that give them a special lustre. We have not weighed their knowledge, we've noticed their shine. It is their visible achievements we are celebrating. Indeed, the university has honoured the Professors Sir Paul Nurse and Sir Peter Bell consented to accept the degrees we've conferred upon them today, and it gives us great pleasure to welcome them into our academic community. To the graduates in the body of the hall, you have gained your degrees in a different way. You have studied over 1, 3 or more years, and your graduation today represents in every case a significant personal success. Along with your family and friends, the staff of the university also share and rejoice in your achievement. We hope that you found the educational experiences you've had here exciting and uplifting. As Sir Paul Nurse hinted, education should not be the filling of a bucket, but the lighting of a fire. He also mentioned the contribution of the staff, and I know that in their worst moments, very occasionally, some of the staff will have thought of that other extraordinary definition of education as the process of casting false pearls before real swine. but they will more often have rejoiced, as Jacob Bronowski did, in the fact that students bring a certain ragamuffin, barefoot irreverence to their studies. You've not been here to worship what is known, but to question it, and we hope you will continue to ask questions throughout your lives. Also, I hope you will remember that imagination is more important than knowledge. So few have imagination that there are 10,000 violinists for every composer. If you come to us from school, and this is your first degree, you can go forward with some comfort. You may have some debts, but a survey of East Midlands graduates last year showed that, on average, at around age 35, you can expect to earn about 40% more than your non-graduate peers, and by age 45, around 86% more. Some of you may also feel at this point that one of the ultimate advantages of this type of education is simply the coming to the end of it. This feeling was neatly encapsulated by a student colleague of mine who, 43 years ago this week as I graduated, said, "It's a pity that Latin is no longer taught in school. It removes the infinite pleasure of giving it up." But in this fast-changing world, your studies may not stop with today's degree. Remember the words of Pope John Paul I, who said, "If someone told me I would be Pope one day, I would have studied harder." You may need to expand, revise, or change the direction of your learning, and so do remember, as the Vice-Chancellor drew your attention to, that this university is a major provider of postgraduate courses. The Vice-Chancellor also said the university greatly values its contacts with its graduates, and we hope that you will stay in touch with us and those with whom you've studied through the Alumni Association. We rely very much on the support of our graduates in many ways, not least we hope that you've enjoyed your time here and will tell others about the University of Leicester. To the many parents and friends in the hall, we hope you will enjoy the day. Indeed, we hope you've enjoyed it so far. Your support and encouragement in all its forms has been of the utmost importance to our students and indeed to us. You will be rightly proud of the successes of those we have awarded degrees to today, and we hope you have wonderful celebrations. University is about all kinds of things, not only study, but also learning from making mistakes. Albert Einstein once commented, "Anyone who never made a mistake has never tried anything new." And it is about all kinds of things. It is about looking at everything as though you were seeing it for the first time. It is about learning independence, learning to teach yourselves. It is about appreciating other points of view and other cultures. It is about learning tolerance and consideration. This is the very stuff of civilization and of peace. Finally, as you leave this ceremony today, let me tell you that in America and some other parts of the world, this occasion is not known as a degree ceremony, but as commencement. You now enter a new phase in your lives. Empowered by your education, you will realize that the hardest thing to learn in life is which bridges to cross and which bridges to burn. You will make choices that impact on your own lives and the lives of others. We wish you every success.
Well, this brings us to the end of the proceedings for this afternoon, and indeed for this summer's degree ceremonies. In order for the degree ceremonies to be such a success, and at this stage I can say we've held 6 degree ceremonies this week, and they've all been absolutely splendid. And I would ask you to always remember that besides those of us you see on the platform, there are a whole host of people who are probably sheltering behind these doors at the moment on either side of the hall. But I would, on behalf of the university, want you to join with me in saying a big thank you to Cathy Williams and the Academic Office for all the work that is done to make it a success. Well, all the week I've been saying I really wondered which faculty was going to clap loudest and longest. I don't think I need keep you in suspense any longer. I think it's pretty conclusive. But I just want to make absolutely certain that it's you. So one more time, for the graduating class in the Faculty of Medicine and Biological Sciences of 2003, many congratulations. Sounds very conclusive to me. I now declare this congregation closed.